Welcome back to Shul Lights. We're going to be installing the remaining tritium vials into this light. There's two slots that are open, and you can see on my mat here, I've got two vials ready to go. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need UV resin. You can use Norland 51. That's like the industry standard for optical grade, but this UV resin's what you can get on Amazon for nail repair, and it works great. And I've had it in lights with tritium for years. It doesn't yellow, doesn't discolor, and it's very inexpensive compared to Norland. You get a big old bottle like this. You're going to need a UV light. It doesn't have to be a monster like this one. This one has 3 emitters, and it's a monster. But the more UV light you apply, the faster it will cure. The resin will harden. You can even do it in sunlight. If you're going to do it in sunlight, I recommend putting it in sunlight for like 10 to 15 minutes, so a while. Whereas I'm only going to need to blast it for like a second or two with this light. All right, so let's just show you the methodology, just quick and fast. So I'm using the UV resin. I like to take, this is kind of like a glossy cardstock, see that? I like to take that and just put a blob right there because of the fact, there we go, a little blob. Because of the fact that this card might get destroyed. So that's why I don't want to put it on a plate or something that I would care about. Now, I like to use a toothpick, okay? And just grab a little, there we go. Grab a little blob of this stuff on the toothpick there, a little blob like that. And then find the slot and just kind of lay it right there. Now, notice I'm getting it on the edges of the slot, and I'm getting it all over. That's true. But now I'm going to push it around with the toothpick so I can see now that it's at the bottom of that well. I can see, let me see if I can get it better. So here we go. So we can see that it's all over the place, right? It's runny, but it's definitely at the bottom of this well. So now I am going to make sure I have enough in there. You don't need to fill it up, but let me push some from the outside in to the well. Just kind of smoosh it in there. Let me go back to my normal lens here. Okay, and you just got to make sure you have enough. If you put too much in, I grabbed some more just now. If you put too much in, it's not too much of a problem because we're going to wipe it off. But you want to make sure you have just enough. I would say anywhere between a quarter to half of the well should be filled with the liquid resin. Now, I like to take tweezers, pick up the tube. Now, this is the biggest tip I can give you. You ready? First off, this is completely liquid, right? So make that upright according to gravity because it will run. But here's the thing. Inspect this tube before you place it. Look and rub it around. What I'm doing is I'm trying to dislodge any dust or any particulate matter that I might see. Because once I put it in there and set it, I'm gonna be staring at this little dot forever. Now, it's true you're only going to see one side of this, so the other side, I guess, doesn't matter too much. Now, let's see if I can do this on camera well. Okay, so I'm just going to drop it on top there like that. There we go. Now, it's not in there. Now, what I'm going to do is, sorry, I'm on camera. It's very difficult. But now I'm just going to push it down a little. You see how it's like oozing out? It's because I have like too much, right? So I'll just push, and I want to get it totally covered. So it's now underneath the resin, right? Now that I have it underneath the resin, let me just make sure it looks lined up. I'm just pushing it down a little bit more. Looks good. You can even kind of go back and forth with your tool like that if you want. Now make sure there's no bubbles, and take a paper towel and just wipe. Just wipe. Okay. Let's take a look at it again. See, it seems a little, maybe not uniform, a little bubbly. So I'm just going to push it around again. Kind of just, there we go. I like that better. Also, another tip is while it's liquid, you can literally go, just kind of tap it to get like air bubbles out. I don't see any air bubbles, so I should be good. I'm going to wipe it one more time. Okay, there we go. It's nice and wiped. Looks good to me. I know I'm off camera. Sorry, I'm looking under a magnifying glass. All right, looks good to me. Now, I don't want this to harden, but I want this to harden. So I'm going to remove this from view because UV light is very directional. So I'll put this over here so it still stays liquid. And now on camera, just boop. Now with this light, that was long enough. This is actually, yeah, it's totally hard. I can tell. It's not moving around, nothing. But you know, I mean, what's 10 seconds of your life? You want to hit it for longer? Go for it. Okay, so I'm on high. And yeah, that's set. I was just getting my finger in there. Totally set. So just like the rest, that one is now good to go. Won't fall out. And it's in there good. Now, I don't think, I mean, this is a permanent solution, right? It's not going to fall out. It's in there. That's hard. If you decided that you wanted the trits out, you can carefully chip it out. It's kind of like, it feels like hard candy. And you can chip it out, and I'd use like a toothpick or maybe something plastic just so you don't mar up the metal of the light. But when you do this, you are going to sacrifice that tritium tube. The tritium tube will be gone. There's just no way to get the UV resin off the tube without breaking that fragile glass vial that has the tritium and the phosphor. So there you go. That's how you install them. And notice I did one at a time. Definitely do one at a time. The only exception is the top here. I did all three at once. I put the resin in, got all three about half filled, dropped all three in because they're on one plane. They're on one plane. But when it's on a curve like this, do not get all fancy and try and do three at once. You are going to hate yourself. Do one by one by one. All right, guys. Hope that helps. That's installing tritium with UV resin. I'm not going to quote the brand, but just do UV resin under nail salon stuff on Amazon. You get this for pretty inexpensive.